Hi, my name is Justice Adamson, and in this video we're going to talk about utilizing clinical goals. It's kind of the basics of that when doing inverse optimization in the Eclipse treatment planning system. All right, let's get started. So let's open our planning system here. So I've got this plan here that I'm about to prepare, and I want to add in the clinical goals, right? So I've got a list of goals from the physician, right? Optimization criteria. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go up here to planning and go add or edit clinical goals, right? And so this is going to bring up another window here, and it has different priority levels. Right? There's most important, very important, important, less important, and then reported only. And then you have various plans and then various templates here that you can use. I'm just going to create one from scratch for now, and then I'll show you how to use these templates later. So first off, I'm only going to use most important. I'm not going to prioritize them, but you could do that. So I'm just going to add them in here for my organs at risk. And I've got brainstem, chiasm, the cochlea, optic nerves, so on and so forth. So I'm just going to put those in here. And the first thing here is you've got to kind of match it with one of your contoured structures, right? So there's brainstem, and each one that you put in, you have to match it exactly here. And so if it's not contoured, you're going to want to go ahead and contour those ahead of time. And then here for the objective, I'm going to put in. You kind of have to put in what type of objective you want, and there's certain options you can put in here. I'm just going to use Dmax, and then I'm going to put in the dose. Now the dose, it may depend on how your planning system is configured, whether it is looking for gray or centigrade. Ours looks for centigrade, so I have to put in 2800 centigrade. If I put in gray, you'll see here it'll actually throw an error and say, I don't know what you're talking about. But you can put in centigrade. Or it may need gray. I think in the instructions it actually tells you gray, but I found that ours was configured the other way. You could also put in something like D 50%. Something like that, right? You could put in a percentage as well, or you can put in a volume. So you could say the V 50% less than something. Anything like that. All of mine, though, that I need are just going to be max dose constraints, but you could also put in those more volumetric constraints as well. And I'm just going to copy this over, and then I'll change it for each one to kind of put in the exact constraint. So this is from the Eclipse Photon and Electron Reference Guide, and you can see here a few more details about how to put those clinical goals in. So here you can see you put there's a couple of different ways you can put this in. Dose with the percentage, greater than or less than your percent, or you can put in gray or centigrade. And again, I've found that it depends on how your system is configured, whether it will accept gray or centigrade. It's only going to accept one of those in my experience. There's also you can put in absolute volumes. So for instance, you could put a dose to a certain cc for that volume and specify it that way, or a volume with a certain cubic centimeters. So you can have absolute volumes or relative volumes, absolute doses or relative doses as well. And then there's also some other options here. If you come down here, you can see, we use a lot of Dmax, but you can also do Dmin, Dmean as well. And then you can also do conformity index and gradient measure. And you can see here the way you put this in is just straight up conformity index greater than or less than the value, or gradient measure greater than or less than the value. You can also use greater than or equal to. One thing to note is that the ones that are visible on the DVH you will see in the optimization, but like these ones that are not, like conformity index and gradient measure, those are not going to show up during your optimization. All right, so that's all of my constraints. I'm going to hit OK. And now, if I go to clinical goals here, you'll see that they're all there. And if I hit show, it'll show that they're there. Now I don't have any dose, so it doesn't really apply. So I'll save that. We'll go into the optimization and just to show you that they will be there as well. All right, so now I'm just going to go ahead and start this optimization. And you can see here, down in this window here, I've got progress and I've got clinical goals. The progress is going to show me my criteria, like my score function for the inverse optimization and how it's doing on the right, and then it's going to show me these stats here. So 3D dose max, max for the and mean and minimum for the PTV, elapsed time, monitor units, and what step I'm at in the optimization. Clinical goals, even though I'm not even clicked on it, you can see here this green circle. That's just showing me that it's actually meeting those goals. And if I click here, you can see it here. So basically, this is each of those. It's automatically calculated, and it's telling me whether it's meeting it or not. So if it wasn't meeting it, one of these would not be green. You can also click here to show the clinical goals in the DVH, and then they actually match what's in here with these optimization criteria. But you can see there that you can turn that on and off as well. So that's very convenient as well. All right, we'll let this run, and then once it's run and calculated, then we will show the final product of this and how it looks back in the planning system. All right, dose is calculated. Let's see how it looks. So if I come here to clinical goals, it says here 10 of 10 clinical goals pass. I guess we can normalize the plan first here. Just tell it to cover 99% of our PTV. And then again, we go to clinical goals, and here we can show clinical goals, and it has for each of these what the actual value is. It's green because it's it meets that constraint. You can also define kind of warning criteria for those as well, but it's just a convenient way to kind of track specific goals during the pre-optimization, optimization, and then post-optimization stage. So another related tool is these clinical protocols, right? So let me show you how to use those as well. So if I go insert new clinical protocol reference, what this does is allows me to add a clinical protocol to my course, right? So I'm just going to choose my course here, and I'm going to then find a template, a clinical protocol template that is appropriate, right? So here I've got a 5 fraction brain SRS, which meets what I'm doing here. And as I put it in, you can see here now, it adds it to the course, but the plan is actually not associated with this. Now the nice thing is here, you can associate different plans with this protocol. So if you have multiple plans in your course, some of which you want associated, some that you don't, you can control that. And so if I click on my plan here, and I'm going to properties, bring it over here, and I choose which protocol it's associated with, and I can click that here, right? Now it says here, associating this plan with the clinical protocol replaces the existing clinical goals with those defined in the clinical protocol. I'll click OK, hit apply, and then you can see here, this is actually a different set of clinical goals here. And if I click it, you can see here that it is automatically associated all of these structures, and you can see here that it meets those criteria. 3 of these are invalid, could not be evaluated, and if you look at them, you can see that the optic nerves have been left off and the chiasm. So with this clinical protocol, You have to, an exact match with your structures here, which is it's not quite as flexible, whereas you can go in and change that. It actually won't let you come in here. If I go here, add or edit clinical goals, these clinical goals are coming from the protocol, so it's not letting me edit those. It's one of the reasons why the clinical goals are a little less flexible when they come from the clinical protocol. As you can see that this whole system is set up with the clinical protocol. So when you use a clinical protocol, you can also use it with a number of different settings here. So you could have a protocol plan, which has its set clinical goals, plan template, and optimization objectives. It also has a template for the structures, and so you can see that it's kind of tying this in, where when you use the clinical protocol, you can also have the protocol's template of structures, and so your clinical goals are going to be matched to those structure names exactly. So it's a little less flexible, but it has a lot of advantages if you use the clinical protocol for all of these scenarios. And then again, just like you can create a template from your clinical goals, you can create a clinical protocol template here in the, if you go down to templates and clinical protocols, you can actually edit those here with this create clinical protocol from plan. And then there's also the clinical protocol manager, which you can kind of manage all the protocols that have been created.